Good morning, warriors. Fernando here, God's prepared warrior. And I am talking today about a lot of things cooler. What am I talking about? Let me tell you. So here, if you live in Texas like I do, you know that summer is really not summer. It's scorching. It's almost like we live on the sun at times. And so fall is now in the air because mornings are now nice and cool and crisp, and the evenings are a lot cooler and aren't as hot, right? Currently, today, that is where we are right now. We're sitting at 73 degrees this morning, and it will probably get in the 90s today, midday, and then in the evening it should fall significantly. But we are in that time where we know that fall is here, and we know because things are changing, colors of the leaves and all that kind of stuff, right? And so we're in that pattern. And I always say that once we begin to see these changes, our mindset for preparedness should shift into gear, right? So today I want to talk about fall preparedness because for me, it's my mind shifting out of the summer months into the fall months, right? And so fall is one of the best times of the year to really strengthen your preparedness. But many people miss the opportunity because they're really focused on the holidays instead of readiness. And I'm not saying don't focus on the holiday. What I'm saying is take advantage now, right? This is why we do it now, when things begin to change, right? You'll always hear me say that if you're watching the weather, you know that a rainstorm is coming. You're going to pack your umbrella. You're going to pack your frog togs or whatever it is you use to keep yourself dry from the rain. And so it is the same thing with fall preparedness, right? So as this weather begins to change, right, it cools, the days down, and the days get shorter, right? Now is the time to inspect, repair, and restock, right? So it's important for us to check on our home heating system, right? If that's a fireplace, you're going to need a chimney sweep, right? If that is like an air conditioning heating system, I would encourage you to call your HVAC team so they can come out and inspect your heater, make sure the pilot light, all that's turned on and everything's working. Maybe it needs to get blown out or whatever. But maintain those appliances because you don't want to get into a spot where, Lord forbid, something explodes or, catches fire. You don't want to be in that predicament, right? And so if you have space heaters, right, before the first real cold snap, really get those cleaned out, right? A lot of times they collect dust. And I don't know if you've ever turned on your heating system in the wintertime and you really haven't maintained it. You smell this burn, right? There's a burn smell. Well, that burn smell is actually the dust particles, because that system hasn't been used in forever because of, spring, summer, and now you're moving into the fall months. All of that dust has settled there. And so when you turn that heating system on, it just begins to burn all that up. That's that smell you smell. And so it is way better to maintain your equipment, make sure that that's clean because you don't want a fire to happen, right? This is a good time also when we talk about food, to rotate your food storage. Um, it's a good time to get all of that settled and, moved into place. Use your older food goods and then replace them with fresh stock, right? And then if you're collecting water, if you're collecting bottled water.
Copy, Kansas. Whiskey Alpha checking in.
The guys are checking in. It's good to refill that water, and if you're collecting it, right, if you're like collecting rainwater and stuff, refill that water and put it in the containers, and then ensure that you're rotating all that stuff, right? Maybe it's time to get your winter gear out, right? Like maybe your blankets, maybe you got to dig up some winter gloves and coats and out of the closets, and make sure that those are clean and ready to be used. And so that's that. So don't forget too that your vehicle needs maintenance for the winter time. You want to make sure that you move your coolant over into antifreeze, right? Because you don't want your water in your system in your car to freeze, and then it would break your engine, all that kind of stuff. You don't want any of that. So don't forget that there's a vehicle prep we got to work, right? We got to check, we got to maintain all of that stuff.
Copy, Whiskey Alpha.
Tire pressure, and keep the emergency kit ready with jumper cables and snacks and flashlights. Spiritually speaking, fall reminds us of the season of preparation. It is, just as the farmer brings in his harvest before the winter, we too must gather wisdom. Thanks, guys. Gather wisdom, faith, and readiness for the season.
Copy, 43.
So this fall, take inventory physically and spiritually, and make sure your supplies are strong before the winter time comes, and that you're ready and prepared, because preparedness isn't about fear. It's all about faith, right? And stewardship and readiness for whatever lies ahead. Guys, have a great day, and thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and hope to see you on the next one.